Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. So I've told this summoner behind the scenes, I don't know if I agree with his premise, but he sent over what he thinks is proof of this, and I thought it was worth a video. Basically, as we know, getting on the forums is its own RNG risk. Kabam, now more than ever, especially when you talk about the game being broken, because they just don't want to publicly acknowledge that, because then they have to maybe consider re-giving, say, Wednesday compensation packages for a broken game. They don't want to hear that the game's broken. They just want to delete comments, delete threads, and do what I had never heard of until recently, and that is shadow banning. So here we have Kabam Valkyrie. You've seen her name pop up. I assume it's a female because Valkyrie's a female, and also Thor Jane Foster is the profile pic. But we have, let's just say, the person's name pop up quite a bit, you know, to give certain updates on the game on the forums. But I think, this is just my theory, if I'm giving Kabam any benefit of the doubt, and that's a dangerous thing to do, trust me, I know. It's that, you know how, if any of you have ever filed a help ticket, you get that automated reply, and then if you're lucky, a human being, or maybe half of a human being, eventually responds to your ticket, maybe a day later, 2 days later, a week later. Well, I think they're doing the same thing right now on the forums. They're copying and pasting generic messages posing as human beings, in this case, Kabam Valkyrie. Now, this summoner, Mr. Console, is so convinced about this that he thinks it's not just a fake human. He thinks it's literally a bot. I wouldn't go that far. I do agree that these messages aren't personal, that they're standard and they look automated. But let's just give you an example of what the heck I'm talking about. So, we have this post all the way back a week ago on May 28th. Hi guys, I have a 5-star Wong and awaken him. I try to use him in event quest, but I cannot use his pre-fight ability even though he's awakened. Can you guide me on how to use his pre-fight, or in this case, pre-flight ability? Maybe he's supposed to fly when you use it. I don't know. Kabam Valkyrie, hi there! Thank you for reporting this bug. To help track down the cause of the issue, would you mind filling out this information? Please include as much information from this template as possible with your report, device version. Okay, so just the standard, you know, bug message. Now, I don't have a problem with that necessarily, but here's the problem. We've seen this standard message copy and pasted for months when we reported bugs with the game crashing, especially with inputs. And we had Android users, so many Android users. There was an entire mega thread of just Android gameput, input, lag issues filled up. And then Kabam was still sending out messages to summoners that the beta test for fixing the game was only for iOS players, because Android players weren't encountering any broken issues. So, it might seem like it's a good idea on paper to send this out, because then the players are going to take the time to say what iPhone it is, what Android it is, what operating system, whatever. But if they don't take that information and acknowledge that the players submitted it, and worse, if they publicly say the opposite is true when players are filing help tickets, that's just a nightmare for public relations and a nightmare for a company trying to claim to be transparent. And so, yeah, we have the same feeling automated message on June 1st as it is on April 20th. When Dave7099 says, on Android S21, since the last update, my game has been freezing up almost every fight. It's almost always when I dash in 2, leaving me open to get punched in the face. Well, Dave, don't you know that face blocking is a now expected requirement for playing the Marvel Casino Champions? That's not a bug. That's just a working as intended wonderful experience. And as you can see, even though he put in the message, it's an Android S21, same pasted feedback. If they prove that they took this feedback seriously and acknowledged the issues, even if it was a bot, I don't think I would have a problem with it. But it's just the lack of consistency, even with the messaging from the mods to the people who respond to help tickets. And it does sometimes feel like the people who respond to help tickets don't actually play the game, because sometimes their responses really aren't accurate if you know how the game works when you play it. So, I don't think this is a bot, but even if it is a bot console, it's a little concerning that there's no personalization to these. And I realize a lot of these messages could be too much for human beings to react to in terms of volume, but it still seems like either the lazy way to do it, or even if people take the time to fill out the form, they're not actually taking down the information the players are taking the time to say it. So things need to change. What else is new, right?